Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk a little bit about getting back into a groove. So for the past month or so, I've been very much out of my groove. If grooving is a little bit like this, right, I've been very much like this. Right? So that's a bit of a visual metaphor to sort of show you that I haven't been doing too well in terms of productivity and motivation as of late. Right? For the past sort of month or so, in fact, even though I've been uploading every day, that's based off of my archive of videos that I shot previously. I haven't actually shot one of these videos for about 3 weeks, which is the longest that I've gone without shooting one since I started this. And as it got further and further away from the last one I did, it felt like it would be harder to do the next one, to get back into the groove. And there was even moments where I was thinking, is that it? Have I run out of things to say? Is there nothing else I can do? Is this it for the channel? And I just thought I would come out here and just try and make one about getting back into the groove, because look, once you are grooving, everything's groovy, right? The whole idea of getting back into the groove is, you know, the bass line's going boom, 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 and you know, the drums are going and everyone's having a good time, right? And the reason that it's called the groove is because it's able to sustain itself indefinitely. You can keep a groove going forever. The only reason they stop is because your attention span kind of would run out, you know. But you know, there's loads of funky sort of tracks that are able to just sustain the same kind of idea for quite a long time. And the reason they're able to do that is because they're in the groove, right? You see interviews with like Thundercat or, you know, all of these various different bassists or drummers that all talk about how important it is to just lock in and get into the groove. And I think that the groove is something that you can sustain throughout your life, as long as you don't push yourself too much to the point where you burn yourself out, right? I always try and treat myself as if I should be about here, right? When in reality what ends up happening is I'm kind of like this. And realistically, that's my expectation, is that I should be around there, right? When probably in reality it'd be a lot more sustainable if I was around here, right? Because that, right, I'm going underneath that, look. Okay, I lifted it a little bit, but you get the general idea, is that if you keep yourself doing things in a sustainable manner, then you will be able to keep doing things almost indefinitely with very little in the way of breaks, right? If you go to the gym and you just do nothing but like, you do 100 dumbbell lifts, you do 800 of these every single day, you do like 100 laps in the gym every day, and you run a marathon, you try and do that every day, right? You are going to hurt and ache very, very deeply, right? And if you keep forcing yourself through that, you're going to give yourself an injury, right? So if you instead just do a little bit less, right? Do a little bit less for a longer period of time, and you end up finding that you're doing a lot more, right? Think about it in terms of writing. Say you aim to write 1,000 words a day, right? And you keep that up for 10 days, right? You've written 10,000 words. Compare that to someone who starts off on day 1, they write 3,000 words. On day 2, they write 2,000 words. On day 3, they write about 50 words. On day 4, they write about 50 words. On day 5, they're like, oh shit, we've only done about half of it. We need to pick our pace up. And they managed to do about 500 words, right? And it's kind of like, I really tried there, and I still wasn't able to do it. And that ends up in turn making you feel bad about yourself, and the badness that you feel within ends up getting in the way of your own productivity. So that person is now on day 6 and they've written about 5,600 words, and then they go into day 6 and like, right, we really, really need to pump the rest of this out right now. And they managed to do maybe 1,500 words. So now they're at 7,100 words, and that was the last of their energy. Day 7, 8, and 9, they don't manage to do anything. On day 10, they think, right, we've got about 3,000 words left to go. Come on, let's just crack it all out now. And they do about 100 words, right? Compare that, that's someone who is desperately trying to do something. And throughout those days where they're not writing particularly, where they're getting about 50 words a day or 100 words a day, and they're spending all day worrying about it and going, oh my God, I'm in my own head. I need to get it done. I need to get it done, right? that person who's doing 1,000 words a day, right, is just kind of coasting along by comparison. You know, they're spending a fair bit of time doing these thousand words a day. It's not like it's just easy. They have to put effort in, but the fact that they're not putting in such a ridiculous amount of effort that they're burning themselves out and draining themselves of all their energy allows them to keep that pace up in the long term, right? I mean, you're able to get quite a lot done if you just keep yourself in the groove, right? I did a video about if you fall off, you fall a lot further than you expect. And right after that, I fell off. Right, I was going to the gym every day and just doing, as I said, about like 800 fucking of these, 100 of these, you know, 20 laps of the pool, right? And then I would do one day where I'm like, oh God, I can't do it all. And then I would end up doing maybe 2-3 laps in the gym, in the pool. And then I would do another day and I'd be like, oh God, I can't even face the gym today. And then there'd be the next day where I try and go to the gym and I get halfway there and I'm just like, oh God. And then I'm passing the supermarket, I'm like, God. You know, nice chocolate bar, and a can of Fanta. That would really go right now, right? And I end up going in there, getting a can of Fanta and a chocolate bar, and I'm back at home eating it. And suddenly, I've lost the momentum, right? And because I've lost the momentum, it's harder to start running again, right? So, because it's been a while since I've done these, I think my worries were that 1, I wouldn't be as good as I used to be. 2, that I'd run out of topics, and that whenever I would pick a topic, it'd be something I've already done before, and I would just have to pick another, you know, fucking direction to take it in, or I'd have to get the real bottom of the barrel ideas that are just like, you're just stretching it out a basic little point into a whole video, which admittedly I have done that before. It's not like every video I put on this channel is a fucking masterpiece or anything like that. But, you know, I realized I need to learn to follow my own philosophy, which is, it doesn't need to be a masterpiece. Because it had been such a long time, I was setting my expectations way too high for myself. And just, I would record bits of videos, I would start off recording bits of videos, and they'd just be rubbish. I would just start things off and they would be not particularly good, and I would give up about 3 minutes in and just go, there's nothing in this, you know? So, you know, the members only thing has been getting a fair bit of stuff lately because it's all just the rejects of ideas that didn't really make it anywhere. And as I started to get through my archive, my backlog, I realized that this channel would end up dying if I stopped uploading, right? And I didn't want that to happen because I've fostered a community here, and there's people that enjoy these videos, people that get something out of these videos. I get emails from people where these videos mean something to them. And I want to do it, and at the same time, I feel like I need to do it. So I need to marry those two ideas into wanting to do what I need to do, right? So how do I do that? Well, if you say to a kid, right, wash the dishes, right? That kid suddenly doesn't want to wash the dishes, right? They might have washed the dishes if you hadn't told them, go wash the dishes, but now that you've told them, they don't want to do it. But they will do it, but they don't want to be doing it. Which works fine for washing dishes, right? I work a normal job and I don't particularly enjoy doing it, but I can go in every single day because there's motivation of getting paid, and also it's not creative, motivational work where, like with these videos, if this was a 9-to-5 job, I don't know if I'd be able to do it, because the whole point of these videos is, you know, showing someone that's clearly passionate about what they're doing. And if there's no passion, then you're not going to be interested in it. The same way, you know, you see all these channels, like these big multimedia channels, right? That, you know, they've clearly, you know, burnt their staff out, right? Completely and utterly, to the point where they have no motivation. And you can see it in the soullessness of some of their works, right? I'm not naming any channels in particular, but you know the kind of thing I mean, right? I'm sure there was someone at Watch Mojo who really enjoyed what they were doing, right? But eventually that all stopped and no one was enjoying themselves anymore. So if you want to try and get into the groove, I think what's important is just allowing yourself to take a bit of time away, right? I've been sort of for the past 3 weeks very tired, very fatigued, and I've been doing very back-end simple stuff. I've been doing a lot of backing up hard drives. I've been doing a lot of exporting videos for other clients and gigs and stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of photo editing and culling photos. It's called culling photos. I had about 8,000 photos I had to cull. So I would just sit there just like this. Oh, that's the best one. And move all the others out of the way. Move all the others out of the way. And you can have a podcast or some YouTube video on in the background. So I've been watching a lot of garbage YouTube slop, they call it. I'm not calling it that, but that's what other people call it. Actually, I don't think it is slop, because the stuff I've been watching has been like video essays and things like that. I mean, admittedly, the one I watched was a 6-hour long video about why Transformers: Age of Extinction is a terrible movie. And that's a movie I've not seen for 10 years, but I quite enjoyed watching him just pick his way through it. And, well, listening to him pick his way through it, because I was just sat there like this. Oh, that one's more in focus. All his eyes are looking straight at me. There's a perfect bit of emotion in that. Get the others out of the way. That's what I've been doing for the last while. Now I've managed to cull all my photos. Right now at home, I'm doing a load of encoding on video stuff, compressing various personal projects down. I'm doing a whole load of transferring. I'm uploading stuff, and I'm uploading stuff to my Google Drive. So everything at home is being done. Can't really use that computer at the moment, but I figured I would come out, do some videos, right, while I have this sort of bit of energy. Every now and then, the door opens for you, right? And this big glistening beam of light comes in, and just, you know, there's a path of light across the floor leading right to your feet. And you just think, there's something there. There's a reason that that's happened. I'm not saying it's like divine intervention or anything like that, because I don't believe in that. But I'm just saying that I think it's an internal body system. Sometimes your body goes, right, I've had enough of feeling down. I want to feel good. And the brain just goes into overdrive trying to make those endorphins. And then when that happens, you cling onto the opportunity that your brain gave you and really squeeze it for what it's worth, so that you can get yourself back into the groove. And then when you're back into the groove, everything's kind of fine. Well, not totally fine. You can't be completely sedentary. You still need to do stuff and make things happen and be proactive and assertive and stuff like that. But now that it's happened, I'm not walking to the gym and seeing the Tesco Express or whatever and going, oh my God, I can't face the gym. I just want a can of Fanta and a chocolate bar. Oh, go on, right? Now, I pass the Tesco Express, I'm like, yeah. And I just get on with it, and I go to the gym and I do my working out. I'm enjoying the music that I'm listening to while I'm working out, and I'm doing more laps in the pool, and everything's just sort of feeling better. And I think what I'm going to do now that I've had this little groove come into me, I'm not going to take it for granted like I have so many times before. I'm not going to try and just put myself into 110% effort at all times. I'm going to instead strive for maybe 65% and just work on that, right? I used to be someone that would get up at 9 and then work all the way until like 1 in the morning. And then I would do that every single day, apart from the days when I'd go see my girlfriend. That was my life, right? And now I'm instead focusing in on trying to set myself these little like shorter days. So maybe now I'll start at 11 with my personal work and with this stuff, and finish at 8. You know, it's a shorter day. It's still a long day, still 9 hours, but it's a shorter day, you know, overall, and it's more manageable and it's more long-term sustainable, right? So now I'm not, you know, going in and trying to do 800 of these fucking things, whatever they're called. Instead, I'm going in and doing like 15, you know, and then I'm going doing a bit of this and a bit of that, and I'm not trying to force myself to do the absolute utmost of importance. And that's pretty much it. If you can do that, then I think you're doing something right. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the future with this bit of energy that I've gotten. And I'm going to try and keep it up for as long as I possibly can. So thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. I'm going to try and film another one of these and not do what I was doing before, which was try and film like 7 at once in one outing. Just do manageable amounts of stuff in a manageable time frame. Be kind to yourself. So yeah, leave your comments below about what you think of this, and yeah, take care everybody. Bye bye.